Work-life balance. It sounds so good, doesn't it? I want to talk about how to achieve work-life balance today. And if you're interested in balancing out your life, stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to today's video. In case you don't know me yet, my name is Raya. I'm an aspiring minimalist, and I love finding ways to simplify my life. Okay, work-life balance. This is a term that is used a lot, and we all kind of crave balance. Balance sounds good, and it sounds like that's what we need because we usually are not in balance. If someone is interested in balancing something, probably they're not balanced. And here's the thing, it's just a question I'm going to ask you. Which one weighs heavy? The reason why we talk about work-life balance so much is because it is out of balance. Have you ever caught yourself saying, I think I don't work enough. I think I have too much life time. I think I have too much time with my family. I think I have too much time that I spend on things that I enjoy doing. Probably that's not what you're saying. Probably what you're saying, I have too much work. I am at the end. I am burned out. I'm overwhelmed. It's so much. So here is how to balance work life. Just work less. I know, easier said than done. Why do you work so much? Why is there so much to do? Is there something you cannot do and your life still goes on with the same quality or maybe even better? Do you have to wash laundry every so often? Can you outsource something? The problem usually is we don't have enough money. And because we don't have enough money, we have to work more to make the money that we need. So why don't we have enough money? Do you have a roof over your head? Do you need a place that expensive? If it's more than you can pay, maybe you need a smaller place. If you're driving a car that has a high note, maybe you don't need that car. Maybe you need a cheaper car. Maybe you just need a beater. Are you in debt? Is that eating you up? Do you have to pay tons of money, hundreds and hundreds of dollars every month to pay back for something that maybe you don't own anymore, or maybe something that is just plain too expensive for you? Well, then that is where you need to start. I can only tell you from personal experience that getting rid of my debt was the best thing I could ever do. Not striving for more things that I then have to pay for, that I then have to work for so that I can pay for, and then creating that loop of never having enough time to do the things that I want to do because I have to spend more time making money. Once I got out of that loop of being in debt, it got so much better. And once I got into the loop of needing less and being happy with less material stuff so that I had to spend less money, suddenly there was a lot more time for me to spend on the things that I really enjoy doing. And after all, when you are at the end of your life, that's always what I tell myself when I'm on my deathbed. What is it that I want to be able to say? Do I want to be able to say, well, I sure made a lot of money and bought a lot of stuff. Wasn't that great? And I worked a lot. Wasn't it great to spend all that time at work and not to spend the time with my kids? Wasn't that great? Wasn't that a great house that I had? Wasn't that a great car that I drove? Probably that's not what I want to say. What I do want to say is I want to lay on my deathbed and say, I'm so glad I spent the time with my kids. I'm so glad we went on that trip. I'm so glad we experienced those things. I'm so glad we went to the beach that day. I'm so glad I didn't buy that thing. So I'm so glad I just took a step back with work. I'm so glad I worked less hours. I'm so glad that I actually just traveled. Those are the things I want to be able to say when I'm at the end of my life. Probably nobody ever will say, well, wasn't it great that I worked so much? And all the things that I had, it all will not matter. It will not matter. For me, it is important to have a home and to have a place that I can call my own. But here's the thing, you can make a small place and an old place really wonderful and cute. I mean, I've seen lots of like tiny houses or people who live the van life, and I think they have beautiful homes, but they have a lot more freedom in life because they are not chained down by something that owns them. A lot of times things own you instead of you owning the things. I mean, maybe you have to buy a car because you have to go to work. You could either buy an inexpensive car. Maybe, it does need repair, but let's be honest, any car that's older than 1 or 2 years will need some repair at some time, and service, of course, also. Every car needs that. But you buy that car to go to work in order to make the money to pay for the car. See, it's like, it's that loop. What if you had a job that was closer, that made less money, and then you wouldn't need that expensive car? It's just some thoughts that I always play through in my mind. It's like, do I really need that? In order to do that, do I really need that? Or can I just do with less so that I have to spend less money making that, less time making the money in order to pay for all those things? And it has given me so much peace of mind. The best thing that I have every day is when I wake up, I know I don't have financial worries. This is huge. It's huge. I had times when I had huge financial worries. Huge. And it was no fun. Life was no fun anymore. So work-life balance, really think about it. The balance, the out of balance part is usually too much work, not enough life. So what can you do to minimize work and the financial commitments so that you can spend more time doing the things you want to do and with your family, and maybe even making your home? I think for women, I can only speak for myself, but it's a need. It's innate. I was born with that need of like nesting. I want to make it nice. I want to make it cozy. I want to make it comfortable. And I want to be hospitable. I want to have some guests every once in a while. I want to invite the kids over. I want everyone to feel home, and I want them to feel welcome. I want them to feel warm here. And that's just me as a woman. It is important to have that home and to make it beautiful. But really, what do you need to make the home beautiful? I think less clutter, less stuff is so much better. And so to have that work-life balance, for me, even cleaning the house, that is something I want to have more time for. So I recently, I started outsourcing a lot, in my business, which has been a blessing. On the one hand, it's really hard in the beginning to go that step, and it's like, do I want to let go of that money? It's a commitment. Every single month I have to spend that money, and the people who work for me, they count on me. So I have to be very responsible with my money because I know others also depend on me. But it has freed up a lot of space in my life. It's been difficult lately with Corona and all because we are all stuck at home and homeschooling. But you know what? If I didn't have those people who worked for me, oh my goodness, it would be so much worse. They help me so much to keep my sanity these days, and that money for me is so worth it. That is literally something where I spend the money to buy myself the time to keep that balance so much better, the work-life balance. Please consider, it's never that you're having too much life and too little work. Would you complain if that was out of balance? That you are traveling all the time, you're spending all the time with your kids, but you're just not working enough? Well, what you would complain about is not having the money. But here's the thing. You can create a lifestyle that just consumes a lot less money. And here's one other thing. The good thing about needing less money so that you have a better balance between work and life is, for me personally, if I make less money, I have to pay less taxes. I live in Germany, and I think Germany is now officially number 1 ranked in the entire world for how much tax you pay. It's the most expensive country in the world when it comes to taxes. Income tax and then sales tax. We have so many taxes. There is a dog tax. Yes, when you have a dog, you pay tax for your dog. There is a CO2 tax. I mean, we have, you name it, we have all the taxes you could ever think about. So the more I spend because of my business, the more taxes I can save. So I always try to think of more ways, like if I can hire someone to take work off my hands, I pay less taxes and I create more time for myself. And that to me is totally worth it. So just a few thoughts for you today. Let me know in the comments. How do you feel on your balance? Like where are you at? Is it very heavy on the work? Is it very heavy on the free time? Where are you at? What's the percentage? How much time do you feel you spend on work? And how much time do you feel you spend on enjoying your life? Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I hope to see you back next time. And until then, keep it simple and stay healthy.